Hi. So, the point to all this is just that I've been a consultant for artwork across the board, from the very smallest of things to put a canvas together in a frame, or choose what color scheme is good for a wall in an interior home or apartment. And I have some paperwork for insurance to deal with, and I've had some law enforcement go into my email and try to apply themselves to my Medicaid in New York. So I filled out some information and I got back some insurance money that is separate from a place that I used to work at. Now, the place that I used to work at is government, and as far as it is union represented. And so because it's union represented, something comparable to what Social Security advises me to have as in medical is what I have to look for when trying to not be a part of Medicare, as far as medical, not hospital. Hospital is Part A of Medicare. Medicare B is medical, which is, you have a 25% payment, or 100% payment to see a doctor, and then you have a 25% copay, 35, whatever it is. And Medicare does not take care of my disabilities, or it's been kind of in jet lag that way. So I have PTSD, and that's as far as I'm going to go for medical. But I filled out paperwork, and I got back some money, and law enforcement wanted to understand things a certain way, that I was going to be responsible for their medical. Unfortunately, I am not the United States Navy, and I'm not going to pay for their medical. I pay for things that I can afford, and I'm homeless. So they don't pay me money, and they are not a part of my business, which is Nerveroot, and I'm an electronic publisher. I'm an artist, and they've never once asked to be a part of my life that way. They're not my friends. So because they've been embarrassed, I'm trying to do this so they don't embarrass further my children and violate the law. So I will show you paperwork on that dispute with the Federal Trade Commission, in which they tend to ignore or wait for the last minute. And another insurance company, which I will not name, along with another insurance company, is very upset that these chief of police or governors or mayors of local cities think that they can just intimidate for whatever personal reasons that they have, or whatever they guesstimate with insurance, like Social Security Administration, which they carry Medicare. CMS is not a place to play with older people or young children or the disabled who are in wheelchairs or, walking canes or hearing impaired. Now, because of that, I have to notify every state, and that was a part of my job. But because law enforcement thinks that they can go ahead and use credit report after credit report and infringe and bodily injure and intimidate, I'm at a public library, which you can see here in the background. And we're kind of using this footage, or I am initially, for my family or myself, and the insurance must separate from Medicare into Medicaid for the state that I live in and they live in separately, or wherever, that law enforcement doesn't dictate. And so then this is going to be into the blog, which you will find, and you'll see the paperwork that goes with it. Just so that you're not confused, this is right here. You can see part of the paperwork. It's got this blue background, and you can see this here. I don't know if I can see it, but anyway, you can see just a little bit. And so I'm working and trying to gain acknowledgement because of what's happened in this country, and I have not gotten one solicit for anybody to interview me, and I'm really sorry to do that to 60 Minutes, but they don't reply, And Jay Leno has not tried to solicit any interview with me, and neither has Ellen. Although they talk to me on TTY signal and verify certain things, as far as this point in time, because of law enforcement, I cannot go ahead and say, oh yeah, well, I'm just friends with law enforcement, and anything crazy they do in public shouldn't be observed by other people with with civil rights movements, or that people shouldn't stay around and watch for my safety because they have abused their power and arrested for no particular reason and stolen money from banks without asking. So because it's going into federal court, I am a veteran and I go active duty if my rights are violated that much with any insurance company, or even American National, which is an insurance company for the United States Navy. And because they have not paid me and they lied to the country, I do not work for the United States Navy, and no one has sent letter. And if they're lying to you in the media, I'm very sorry that it's caused an upset. Unfortunately, people still follow and they get violent. Okay? Thank you.